What do you call a bee that works for the government? A politician. This is James Chincholo with Chincholo Farming Company and Bloom's Cherries. I want to talk to you a little bit about pollination, why trees need to be pollinated, specifically cherry trees, and how these bees support in that process. Number one, there's two types of cherry trees out there. One are trees that cross-pollinate, that require a companion tree next to them, another type of variety. We grow coral champagnes. They require a companion tree. We use Bing variety, Tulare, and Brooks as companion varieties. And when the bees are flying, when they're out searching for nectar, they're transferring pollen from the pistil portion of one tree, and as they're flying, they're ultimately taking that pollen to the stamen portion of another tree, of a companion tree. And this cross-pollination is what allows for us to grow coral champagnes. Now the trees behind me right here, these are lapins, and they are what are called self-fertile. They still require bees to transfer the pollen from the stamen portion of the flower to the pistil portion of the flower, but there isn't a requirement for companion trees in this particular section of the orchard. It allows us some opportunity when we don't have to have pollinators. In other words, this section of the orchard, we're able to produce just one variety, and it simplifies a lot of the growing and harvest practices. However, there are benefits to the other varieties that do require cross-pollination. So kind of give and take. And right here we have several bees. There's about 10,000 in each one of these hives. So a whole bunch of them. And we have roughly 2 hives per acre. And this is roughly 40 acres. So we have 80 hives. We have 80,000 bees that once the temperature gets to roughly 50 degrees or above, these bees right here will exit out of these hives. They'll search for the nectar. They send out a worker bee first, and these worker bees go around and kind of get a lay of the land. They come back to the hive, and then the rest of the bees go out. It's a really cool process. So anyways, that's the long and the short of bees and why bees are so important in an orchard environment, specifically here with growing cherries. I would like to point out that it's really important to make sure that we're taking care of these pollinators, specifically when bees are in orchards or when they're in environments where they're sensitive. Do everything you can to keep pesticide use to a minimum. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.